A letter with your name on it is set to be delivered at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But it was written 2 years ago. Archangel Michael says, there are no coincidences in divine timing. You are about to receive a letter that was never meant to reach you until now. It was sealed in a moment of heartbreak, written with trembling hands, and locked away as if the words it carried were too dangerous to be read back then. But now, the universe has cleared a path, and the moment of revelation has finally come. The time was marked long ago, 8 a.m. tomorrow. That's when your name will surface once again on an envelope carrying energy so heavy, it could shift your entire reality. What you are about to uncover is not just information, but a reflection of what was kept hidden to protect you. This letter was written 2 years ago by someone whose name will shake your core. You thought this person was long gone, detached, or uninterested. But they were never really gone. They were watching, waiting, holding back a truth they believed you weren't ready for. The moment they wrote this, they poured out every thought they were too afraid to speak. The pen carried the weight of their guilt, their longing, and their desperate hope that one day, just maybe, you would forgive them. This letter was a whisper to your future, and the future is now. Archangel Michael says, there are truths we avoid not because they are too heavy, but because they are too honest. This one held a confession, a warning, and a blessing. All three are tied to your name, and none of them can be ignored any longer. The person who wrote it was in pain, not from what you did, but from what they couldn't tell you. You see, someone interfered. There was a betrayal 2 years ago that prevented this letter from being sent when it should have been. It sat, hidden, in a drawer, under files, behind books, in a dusty old box, protected by fate until now. A sudden shift made it reappear. Someone discovered it unexpectedly, and the moment they read your name on it, they felt chills. They knew it was urgent. They knew it had to be delivered, and they knew the time had come. They didn't open it. They couldn't. It was sealed too tightly with emotion and trust. They simply stared at your name, recognizing that whoever you are, this letter still belonged to you, completely. The one who wrote it? They vanished after they finished. No trace. No goodbye. Just silence. But that silence wasn't empty. It was full of words they had never dared to say aloud. Inside the envelope are pages of handwritten thoughts, raw, messy, beautiful. Words that show they saw a side of you you didn't even know they had noticed. A side that was vulnerable, strong, broken, radiant, all at once. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore the hour. At 8 a.m. tomorrow, this letter will arrive at your door, your gate, your desk, your inbox, however destiny chooses to deliver it. But the message will be the same, and it will strike through your soul like lightning splitting the sky in silence. The handwriting may have faded just slightly with time, but its message remains scorching. There will be moments you'll want to stop reading it. Moments your heart will race, your eyes will sting, your hands will tremble. And then, there will be the truth that breaks you open. You might ask, why now? Why not when it was written? Because back then, you weren't who you are now. You needed to grow, evolve, and experience just enough joy and pain to be ready to receive it. The version of you that will read this letter tomorrow is exactly the version it was meant for. They mention something strange in the letter. A prophecy. A moment when the stars aligned. A warning about a person who was close to you but hiding something. Someone you trusted, but who was working behind your back. Their name is there. So is yours. And next to your name is one word circled over and over again: chosen. This letter was a cry for protection. They feared something would happen to you and they couldn't stop it. So they wrote it all down, hoping their words could shield you in a time when their presence could not. The emotion in that ink has not dried. It's alive. And when you hold the paper in your hands, you'll feel it. Every tremble, every tear, every heartbeat that pulsed behind the pen strokes. You may feel like you want to hide the letter after reading it. Burn it. Lock it away again. But don't. Not yet. It still has work to do. Because this letter contains a key, and it will lead you to something else. A second item. Something hidden away in a location they left coded hints about. They wanted to leave it all for you. Not just the words, but the map to a truth you never knew you needed. This is why the timing was so precise. Because now, finally, you're able to find it. Archangel Michael says, those who walk in silence often leave behind the loudest echoes. You will hear their voice through that letter. A whisper in your ears, a tremble in your chest, a heat in your palms. You may even hear a song they used to hum. That's how you'll know it's real. The moment you finish reading it, something will shift. In your life. In your relationships. In your inner vision. You will begin to notice patterns, connections, and illusions shattering around you. It will begin the unraveling of everything you've been told, and the awakening of everything you've always known deep inside. You might cry. You might scream. You might laugh. But most of all, you will remember. You'll remember the part of you that had been silenced, buried, or forgotten. And that part of you is ready to return. Who you were 2 years ago was worthy. But who you are now? You are unstoppable. And this letter is only the beginning. After reading it, someone from your past will suddenly reach out. A call. A knock. A message. They were connected to the letter too, though they don't know it yet. You will look at them differently this time. You will recognize who they are, what role they played, and what power you now hold to rewrite your next chapter. All the questions you had 2 years ago, they're finally being answered now. Not by force, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. And it all starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow. When the sun rises tomorrow, rise with it. Stand tall. Be ready to receive what was always yours but was held back by time. Destiny is never early. It is never late. It is always precise. Prepare a quiet space tonight. Light a candle if you wish. Keep your heart open. The letter will find you. You don't have to chase it. It already has your name. And once you read it, your next path will be clear. It won't be easy, but it will be true. And truth is the only key that unlocks what's been sealed for years. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The night before it arrives will feel strange. The air might feel heavier, your dreams more vivid, your intuition louder than ever before. You may feel a pull in your stomach or a flutter in your chest, as if your soul already knows what's coming. You are being spiritually prepared, not just to read the letter, but to receive what it carries. Because this letter doesn't only contain words, It carries energy, energy that was trapped, forgotten, and now set free to reach you in the exact vibration your spirit can understand. There's a phrase repeated in the letter, almost like a mantra. It says, "I saw your light before you knew it existed," over and over. They wrote that line each time they hesitated to tell you something difficult. That one phrase held them together, reminding them of your power, your essence, your soul's clarity. They speak of a moment when they saw you and were too afraid to speak. A time when your eyes met, but no words were exchanged. They froze, out of guilt, out of fear, out of reverence. They knew they had already broken something, and they were too ashamed to confess it in person. Archangel Michael says, "The truth never dies. It only waits." You will feel that truth rise when your fingers touch the paper. It will be as if the moment it was written has become alive again. Your soul will remember what your mind has forgotten. You will suddenly feel pieces click into place, wounds make sense, and silence take on meaning. This letter will call something back into your life. It may be a person. It may be a dream you gave up on. It may even be a spiritual gift you once buried. But something will return. It's not random. It's written into the energy of the ink, the folds of the paper, and the seal that held the letter shut for so long. And when you see that signature at the bottom, the name you haven't thought of in months or maybe years, your heart will feel like it's time traveling. You'll remember how you once felt about them. But more importantly, you'll understand how they felt about you, and never dared to say. There will be a passage near the end of the letter that speaks of what could have happened if. You'll read it slowly. You'll read it twice. And you'll realize how close you were to a life you didn't even know was waiting for you. They also included something else in the envelope. A small item, maybe a photo, maybe a pressed flower, maybe a piece of a dream you once shared. Something physical to remind you, this wasn't fantasy. It was real. As real as the heartbeat that pulsed behind their words. That item will unlock a memory, a place, a voice, a time. And suddenly, you'll see clearly what's been blurry for so long. Someone once tried to hide this letter from ever reaching you. A person in their circle convinced them to keep it buried. This person saw you as a threat, feared your strength, and didn't want the truth to reach you. But destiny does not allow interference for long. That interfering person, they're no longer close to the one who wrote the letter. Something tore them apart, a betrayal, a broken trust, or maybe a spiritual intervention. And once they were gone, the letter surfaced again, like a ghost that refused to stay silent. It was passed into the hands of someone pure, a stranger. Someone with no ties to the drama, no stake in your story, only a divine sense that this letter needed to be delivered. That stranger did not read the contents. They felt it wasn't theirs to open. Instead, they protected it and followed an inner pull to make sure it reached you. And now, you stand at the edge of something enormous. A collision between your past and your future. What you decide to do with this truth will echo for years. It will affect relationships, decisions, possibly even where you live, or how you see yourself from this moment forward. The letter includes a request. It's something simple, but weighty, something the writer hoped you would do after reading their truth. You will know what it is. And deep down, even if it shocks you, even if it's hard, you will want to honor it. It's not about going back. It's not about reopening a wound. It's about healing the timeline, restoring the thread, and remembering who you were meant to be before the interference, before the silence, before the delay. Archangel Michael says, when forgotten words finally arrive, they bring the storm and the calm. After reading it, you may be silent for a while. You may walk around your home in disbelief, looking at everything differently. The colors may seem brighter, or your emotions may feel overwhelming, like waves crashing in. Let them. You are not alone as this moment unfolds. Archangel Michael has been guiding this letter from the beginning, shielding it, delaying it, and now, delivering it. And when 8 a.m. arrives tomorrow, trust that it's not just a delivery, it's a spiritual appointment, a divine message disguised in human language. But your soul will understand its true frequency. And that letter? It might just change everything, forever. When the letter finally touches your hands, something invisible will awaken. It may feel like a pulse in your palm or a whisper brushing against your cheek. This is no ordinary paper. This is a spiritual document, carrying not only words, but a vibration meant to unlock the next part of your soul's journey. You will hesitate before opening it. A part of you may even want to delay it further. That's not fear. It's your inner wisdom bracing for impact, knowing that what you're about to read will mark a before and after moment in your life. When your fingers slide beneath the flap and the seal finally breaks, the energy will shift. The world may feel quieter. Time may feel slower. You will feel the presence of the one who wrote it, as if they are sitting right beside you, eyes full of emotion they could never express face to face. And when you begin reading, you'll notice they start the letter with your full name. Not a nickname, not a casual greeting, but your full name, written with reverence, clarity, and weight. That was intentional. They wanted you to know, this was not rushed. This was sacred. They go on to tell you the truth about something you were never supposed to find out from anyone else. Something only they knew. And it has everything to do with the moment your life started to feel confusing 2 years ago. That shift you couldn't explain. The way you suddenly felt lost, distant, or spiritually blocked. This letter will explain it all. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your failure. It was interference. Someone close to them, jealous of how they looked at you, manipulated things behind the scenes. There was a deliberate effort to sever the energetic connection between you and the letter's author. But that interference failed. Because your bond, your spiritual thread, was stronger than the distance. And now, what was hidden will no longer be buried. Archangel Michael says, some messages are written with the hand, but sealed by heaven. Halfway through the letter, their tone changes. It softens. It becomes vulnerable. You can feel the tears behind their words. They speak of regret. Not regret for loving you, but regret for staying silent. For letting fear rule where love should have spoken first. They mention moments that only the two of you experienced. Private moments. Ones you thought they forgot, but they didn't. They remembered everything. Even the tiny details you assumed were invisible. And then they reveal something unexpected. A decision they made. A promise they kept. Something they did for you without ever telling you. It may have protected your career, your name, your spiritual path, or even your physical safety. They ask for nothing in return. They just wanted you to know that they did one final good thing for you before disappearing, and that they would do it again. Then comes a sentence that will stop you in your tracks. I wrote this because I believe you'll one day be the one who sets me free. It will hit you. All of it. The timing, the silence, the ache, and the truth. You've always had more impact on others than you realized. Your light wasn't just seen, it was felt. It changed someone. It saved someone, even when you were unaware of it. Toward the end, they begin to speak of your future. Not because they know it, but because they saw it. They had a vision, a dream, a premonition. In that dream, you were standing in front of a crowd, speaking your truth. Your voice didn't tremble. Your eyes didn't flinch. You were powerful, calm, healed. And in the back of that room, they were there, watching from a distance, with tears of pride in their eyes. They wrote that even if they could never be in your life again, they would find peace knowing you became everything they always believed you could be. They speak of divine timing, of you being marked by something celestial, of a prophecy that was never fulfilled because of their absence, but is now active again because you're finally ready. They close the letter not with goodbye, but with 3 haunting words, still with you. After those words, there is nothing else. No signature, just space. As if they wanted their spirit to echo through the page long after your eyes stopped reading. You'll stare at that blank space. You'll hear them. You'll feel them. And your life, as it has been, will no longer be the same. Not because of what they wrote, but because of what it awakened in you. This letter will make you braver, softer, sharper, more open. It will crack open a layer of truth inside your soul that has been sealed for too long. You will want to speak to someone after reading it. Maybe not them, maybe a friend, a guide, or your reflection in the mirror. But you will speak. Because words that powerful demand a response, even if it's just whispered into the stillness of your home. Archangel Michael says, you were never forgotten. And this letter proves it. At 8 a.m. tomorrow, when the knock comes, or the mail slides in, or the email pings, you'll feel it. Your breath will hitch. Your heartbeat will sync with something ancient. Because that delivery is more than mail, it's prophecy, finally fulfilled. Let yourself feel everything. There is no correct reaction. You might fall to your knees. You might clutch the letter to your chest. You might fold it up and sleep with it under your pillow. That is not weakness. That is divine remembrance. Because when someone writes your name with love, 2 years before you ready to receive it, it means heaven had a hand in holding that message for you. And that time has arrived. The morning light will feel different tomorrow. The silence will hum louder. The sky will look clearer. And as you read, a door in your spirit will open that will never close again. This was always meant to find you. Not a minute early. Not a second too late. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Once the letter has been read, you will notice the world responds differently to you. Not because the words changed the world, but because they changed you. Your energy will shift. Your aura will shine with an ancient knowing. You will walk differently, speak differently, breathe differently. You may not realize it, but people will begin to notice. Strangers might look at you a second longer. Loved ones might suddenly feel more connected or more distant. That's because the energy around you is being reorganized to match the truth you now carry. And this truth is no longer hidden. It's living in your bones. This isn't the kind of letter you toss aside. It's not just paper. It's a spiritual artifact. You will keep it somewhere close, tucked into a book, inside a drawer you open daily, or in a box of sacred things only you are allowed to touch. Eventually, you will read it again. Maybe weeks from now, maybe years. But the second reading will feel different. The first time, you were absorbing. The second time, you'll be translating, understanding the symbols, the pauses, the metaphors they embedded between the lines. And when that time comes, you'll begin to see signs all around you connected to the message. The number 2 will follow you, on clocks, on receipts, on buildings. Not because it's random, but because the letter was born from 2 years of silence. 2 years of waiting. 2 souls intertwined. It is a divine echo, repeating through time and space, reminding you of alignment. You might start dreaming of the person who wrote the letter. Even if they're no longer on this earth, their soul will find you in the dream world. They'll stand at the edge of your sleep, sometimes just watching you, sometimes speaking, but always loving. One night, they might finally speak a sentence to you in that dream, a sentence you never heard in waking life but knew was true. You'll wake up in tears, or awe, or peace, because the letter didn't end with the last word. It began a new connection, in spirit. They may even appear in other ways. Through music, through scents, through a random photo you find online that looks just like the two of you once did. These are not coincidences. These are ripples created by the letter's release. It was never meant to just inform you. It was meant to activate you. There is a line in the letter where they refer to you as the one who was always meant to lead, not follow. That line was their prayer for you, a secret they kept, but hoped you'd one day believe for yourself. And now, you can, because you've seen the truth. Someone saw you. 2 years ago, when the world misunderstood you, they didn't. When you felt invisible, they watched. When you almost gave up, they wrote. That love was real, even if it couldn't stay, even if it wasn't perfect, even if it came too late. It was real. And now, that love, frozen in time and sealed away in ink and paper, is breathing again in your hands. Archangel Michael says, when love survives time, distance, silence, and fear, it becomes eternal. And eternal love has a mission. It does not sit still. It moves through timelines. It clears karmic debris. It reopens doors sealed by pain. And it brings back to life the parts of us we thought were long gone. This letter, this moment, this 8 a.m. delivery is the resurrection of something divine inside you. You may begin to write your own letter. One not to send, but to release. Perhaps to them. Perhaps to yourself. Perhaps to the future. Let the words pour through you. You now know the power of what a letter can become. Let this be your awakening. Let this be your forgiveness. Let this be your return. No longer will you wait for clarity. It has arrived. No longer will you question if your presence ever mattered to someone. It did. No longer will you wonder if what you felt was one-sided. It wasn't. The letter proved it. And tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., when you hold it, read it, and let its truth fill the quiet spaces of your soul, you will become the version of yourself who no longer needs to ask for signs, because you are one. This moment was never delayed. It was perfectly timed. It was always going to come for you. It always had your name on it. And now, so does your future.